Dudes and dudettes, how are you guys? So, as the title of the video and the thumbnail already suggest, I'm going to be talking about the last World Cup that happened in Russia. It's been a while, probably a few weeks already since it was over, and everyone knows by now what happened. People might still be talking about it, might not be, but it took a while for this video to come out because I had to do a lot of research and I had to relive some of the moments and watch a few of the highlights again, do a whole lot of things, and I also haven't had too much time because of my job. But I want to talk a little bit about the tournament itself and a few of the things that happened. I'm not going to go into too much detail into every single match, but I want to point out a few specific ones. All right, so about the World Cup itself, well, it was pretty tense. You know, a lot of national teams, produced a lot of unexpected results, and small countries won against big countries and a whole lot of things, and 64 matches in total, 169 goals. Harry Kane from England was the top goal scorer with 6 goals, and the best player was Luka Modric, and the best young player was Kylian Mbappe, and the best goalkeeper was Thibaut Courtois, and I think that everything was deserved. You know, everyone who got these titles really deserved the recognition because they really did do their part, and Luka Modric really played a lot during this World Cup, and needless to say that Mbappe, he's headed to big things in the future, and let's talk about Germany first, huh? What the hell happened to Germany? What happened to those guys? The reigning champions, and they were eliminated, in the knockout stage, man, and this is the first time that it's happened since 1938, and they got to the World Cup, and they had just won the last one. In the last World Cup, they completely massacred Brazil, 7-1. And then they lost to Mexico 1-0 in this tournament, and then later on to South Korea 2-0. South Korea, man, since when do Koreans play football, No offense, but come on. And it just didn't make any sense at all, but, what are you gonna do, right? And it was already a sign that unexpected things were going to happen. So let's talk about the knockout stage. The very first match was, of course, Russia, the host country, playing against Saudi Arabia, and it wasn't a very big surprise that the match ended 5-0 for Russia, and it's just Saudi Arabia. They don't have any kind of sports history at all. I wasn't even sure they even played football. When I saw them in the World Cup, I was actually a little surprised. Like, what happened exactly? What's going on here? But okay, nothing too special about that. What was special was what I considered to be personally the best match in the World Cup, which was Portugal 3-3 Spain. Now, Cristiano Ronaldo scored a hat-trick in this match, and I think it was pretty impressive how he played so terribly in the last World Cup, and Messi played so well, and in this one, Cristiano Ronaldo played so well, and Messi played so terribly, And Cristiano scores 3 goals in the very first match in the World Cup, and he keeps Portugal from being eliminated. And it was a very intense match. I really, really loved it, from start to finish. It was my favorite match. Not just because I'm a big fan of Cristiano Ronaldo, but just the football that was played there in general. And I don't know, I just really, really enjoyed it a lot, And it's probably then Cristiano Ronaldo's free kick against Spain in I believe it was the 88th minute or so, like a few minutes until the end of the match. He scored the draw. Portugal were down 2-3, and then he scored the 3rd goal, and it was just absolutely amazing. And to me, it was one of, if not the best World Cup goal in that World Cup, of course. And then we have Argentina. Let's talk about Argentina. They started off drawing 1-1 with Iceland, which is a country that, again, just like Saudi Arabia, has no history with football at all. In fact, this is the first time they've ever even qualified for a World Cup. And Argentina draws 1-1. It's really sad and pathetic if you think about it. I'm just being honest, But okay, devoid of merit. And then what's even funnier is that later Argentina would lose to Croatia. I don't even know how to say it. They lose to them 3-0. And it's just very, very pathetic, I know that Argentina doesn't have the best players in the world except for Messi, of course, but he's just the best. There's no one who's even close to his level. So maybe it generates some kind of difficulty for him to play with his teammates, but it's still unforgivable, you know. But yeah, that was I think they, if I'm not mistaken, they won. Argentina won against Nigeria 2-1, but of course 2 defeats just barely qualified them for the knockout stage. I mean the round of 16. Now another match that I really enjoyed in the knockout stage was England against Panama. They won 6-1 and Harry Kane scored a hat-trick, 3 goals in the same match. And it's pretty intense because I don't remember if he came to the last World Cup, but he started this one just scoring goals like crazy. You know, he was absolutely amazing, and it was very impressive because I'm not sure he's a player who's come to World Cups very often, but he plays really well in Tottenham Hotspur in England. So to see that kind of massacre happening, you know, 6-1 against Panama. Okay, so Panama isn't the strongest country in terms of football, but I think that just the way that England played was phenomenal, you know, and they are the country of football, you know, so it's, you know, it's a little unfair how they don't have too much the historical strength in international football, you know, and we're going to talk a little bit about them being eliminated later. Now, the match between, you know, England and Panama had a lot of goals, and, you know, I can't remember all of the players who scored. I know that Harry Kane scored 3, but I can't remember the other players, so this is it. This right here are the list of the goals that happened in that match. Now, before I start talking about Brazil, I saved an entire slot towards the end to talk about just Brazil, my country, and also France, the champions. So now let's move on to the round of 16. I think that maybe the craziest match in this phase of the last World Cup was France against Argentina. You guys should know by now that France won 4-3, and it was just absolutely bonkers. It was madness. It was attacking and defending left and right, and goal here, goal there, go, and you know, Argentina just barely scraped. You know, they could have won because the third goal happened, I think, at the very end of the match. Maybe they had a few more minutes to try to score a fourth, and it was post-pounding from beginning to end. And Argentina being eliminated wasn't a surprise because the other countries, in my opinion, were way too strong anyway. So even if they got past France, they would have to contend with, I forgot who, but if they got past France, I believe they would probably have to contend with, who was it? I forgot. Anyway, Argentina being eliminated was probably the biggest disappointment Messi has ever had in his career, because it's already the 4th World Cup that he had a chance to win and didn't, and he may not come back in the next one. He'll still be young enough, but I don't know if he's going to be, you know, willing enough to do so. Now, just like England and Panama, there were a lot of goals that happened in this match, 7 in total, so I don't remember. I know that Mbappe scored 2 goals. He scored a brace, and very impressive 2 goals. And everyone else who scored are right here. After that, of course, we unfortunately had also to send off the actual world's greatest player, Cristiano Ronaldo, who was eliminated by Uruguay 2-1 against Portugal, and I believe it was Cavani who scored both of their goals. So yeah, not too of a legendary send-off for Cristiano, of course, and it was Pepe who scored Portugal's goal, not even him. But I think it was sad because in the same day, the same round, in a matter of hours, the 2 greatest players, the 2 best players in the world, were eliminated from the World Cup, which is very sad. You know, it's really, really saddening because we know what they can do. We see them playing in Real Madrid and Barcelona. Cristiano Ronaldo now going to play for Juventus. So it was very, very sad. I was sad. I wanted both of them to keep going as far as they could. But it happens, you know, it happens. Now this next part here is where the World Cup really, really, really started to get crazy, because we had 3 matches in a row that ended in a penalty shootout, and the countries that we expected to win didn't win. I think I speak for everyone when I say this. For example, we had Spain and Russia, you know, match ended 1-1, went to extra time, 1-1, so we had a penalty shootout, and wouldn't you know it, Spain got eliminated. I was not expecting that at all. I mean, to Russia, you know. It's not that I'm trying to spit on Russia, you know, I mean, they were the host country, they deserve to get far, but they don't have football. You know, they don't have the kind of baggage that Spain does, for example. So them having won, I think, was unfair. I think Spain should have advanced. You know, they tried, they really did, but you know, sometimes just that kind of thing happens. Then the next match, I mean, we had Croatia and Denmark, which the same exact thing. The match ended 1-1, so we went to extra time. Still 1-1, penalty shootout. And wouldn't you know it, Croatia, I don't even know how to pronounce it. Let's just say Croatia for now. Croatia eliminated Denmark. All right, so that it's not that it was completely unexpected, but it's just that I think that in terms of football, Denmark may have a little more than Croatia in terms of baggage. Today, Croatia seems to be a lot better because they got to the final. They have some phenomenal players, but I don't know. I wasn't expecting it at all. But anyway, then we had Colombia and England. The same exact thing. 1-1, extra time, 1-1. But this time England won, so it was completely expected. I mean, if Colombia had taken England out, I would have been flabbergasted, you know, I would have been shocked, maybe terrified. Okay, not terrified, but maybe petrified is the better word. It just seemed a little bit extreme, you know, what was happening here in this round of 16. And it starts to get a little crazier now towards the final. The one match that I want to highlight of the quarterfinals of this last World Cup is Russia and Croatia. 2-2, and once again, a penalty shootout. And wouldn't you know it, Russia lost. No surprise there. But then again, the fact that it was the fourth, I believe, match so far that had to end in a penalty was crazy. And the Croatians were playing for so many minutes. You know, it's 2 matches having to play extra time and then go into penalty. So they were probably exhausted. But, I mean, it was still pretty okay. It was satisfactory. It was good. And they eventually got to the final against France. Now, I just want to make one observation. This is the first time in the World Cup that we had, I forgot exactly what it was called, but the referee video assistance, you know, where the referee, if there was something that happened that he wasn't really sure of what to give, he would simply go all the way to the edge of the field, or the pitch, however you want to call it, and he would watch a replay on a small TV, and he could, you know, make the decision himself. Was that a penalty or not? Was that a foul or not? Is this warrant of a yellow card or not? You know, and it was actually very effective, except for the times when, of course, he wrongly get called the wrong move, you know, but it's okay. It's okay. I think it was still good because the same way that in the last World Cup, 2014, we had the chip in the ball, the electronic chip to let us know when the ball would go into the net or not. And now we have this. So in the 2022 World Cup, we may have something even more, you know, futuristic. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool. All right. Now here's the thing. The semi-final, one thing and one thing only happened that I thought was very sad, which was England being eliminated by Croatia 2-1. And I think it was very, very unfair because, like I said before, England really deserved to go far. You know, I was actually rooting for them after Brazil was eliminated, and it was kind of it was just a tragedy that England had to be eliminated from a World Cup, and they got so far. They got to the semifinals, you know. And what's even sadder is that when they went to the third place playoff against Belgium, they actually lost 2-0. So I was really disappointed when that happened. Like, they couldn't even get the bronze medal. But, you know, Harry Kane still played a lot, scored many, many goals, and I'm really going to miss watching England play. You know, that didn't sound too right, watching them play. No, I just, I'm going to, how can I explain? I want them to win another World Cup, you know, and I'm going to really miss them if they keep being eliminated, you know, because maybe they won't even qualify for the next one. I don't know. Let's just hope they do. Let's hope they do. So now, this is it. We've gotten to the 2018 World Cup final. France and Croatia. Nobody expected Croatia to get to the final or anywhere near the final. I didn't even expect them to get past the knockout stage, to be honest. But it happened. They got there. They had Mandzukic, they had Perisic, they had Luka Modric, they had Rakitic, a whole bunch of, you know, crazy names all over the place. But of course, no surprise there. France won. They won 4-2 and took their second World Cup title home, and it was a very, very thrilling match. It was exciting, you know, a lot of very good football being played. I didn't expect Croatia to be giving France that much work, you know, and Mbappe scored 1 goal, I believe, and here's the list of the players who scored. that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Very, very well-deserved title that France, you know, trumpeted it all the way there to the end. And from the very beginning, we could see that they were really, really headed towards success, because they won the first match against Australia 2-1. Then it was 1-0 against Peru. Then they drew 0-0, 0-0 against Denmark, and then there was that 4-3 against Argentina, which was just absolutely crazy. Then we had 2-0 against Uruguay, eliminating them for good, which is good because I didn't want Uruguay to get too far. Then France won 1-0 against Belgium, eliminated them completely. And then the final 4-2 against Croatia, and it was a very, 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 you know, awesome campaign that France put out in this World Cup, and I really enjoyed watching them from beginning to end. Just the same way I enjoyed watching Germany in the 2014 competition. They really blew it out of the park. And it's just not much I can say. Mbappe, you know, really deserved the Young Player MVP award. You know, he's only 19 and already won a World Cup, so he's gotten off to a good start, just like Pele back when he was 17 in 58. So let's see what's going to happen with Mbappe. Okay, so now we come to the elephant in the room. Okay, let's talk about Brazil. I wanted to save it for last because it's just the most painful one. You guys know, or should know by now, that I'm Brazilian, even though I speak fluent native English like an American, because I was raised in the United States, and I actually consider myself more American than Brazilian. But when it comes to sports, I'm always where I was born. You know, it's what's in my blood. So when it comes to supporting, you know, a team or a country in any sport, it's always going to be Brazil, be it in the World Cup or the Olympics, anywhere. And it's just in sports. And I was obviously rooting for Brazil to win. We had a few good players, and we had Neymar trying really hard to aggravate everyone. You know, he suffered a lot of bullying, let's say, and a lot of criticism in this World Cup. And he became the king of memes. A lot of memes were made about him because he kept simulating fouls. Every time someone touched him, he would just keep rolling around. And you guys probably know by now. And he just was massacred. His public image was ruined after this World Cup, and with good reason. No one told him to, you know, act like a brat. But anyway, Brazil started off drawing 1-1 against Switzerland, which was kind of intense. You know, it was frightening. I was at any moment expecting Switzerland to change it around and win against us, but thankfully it didn't happen. Then the next match was against Costa Rica, which was aggravating to say the least. It was really, really irritating because Brazil was trying, or rather wasn't trying to win at all. They were playing very poorly, and we scored 2 goals, but it was at the very end of the match, so not very deserving of merit. You know, it seemed like we just got lucky at the end, and it was just, you know, it drove me crazy. But luckily, the next match we won 2-0 against Serbia, so it was a little more bearable to say the least, right? And that was the knockout stage for Brazil. When we got to the round of 16, we won 2-0 against Mexico, which was a relief because Mexico, I was very pessimistic. I was actually expecting them to win against Brazil because Mexico was playing very well up until then, and they had some pretty good players. But it's okay, we got past them, and then it was time to hit the quarterfinals against Belgium, which, ironically, I wasn't expecting too much from. You know, I was actually expecting us to maybe be pummeled by Mexico, not by Belgium, and we lost 2-1, and it was just, God, I think it was Renato Augusto who scored Brazil's goal, but Jesus, it was just intense, you know, because I think I've said the word intense like 20 times so far in this video, because it's true. And it was something that I really wasn't proud of, you know, being eliminated in the quarterfinals. You know, a country like Brazil, with the history we have, 5 World Cups, and so many brilliant players who have gone to these competitions and who have represented us in Europe and other places. And you know, we used to have a lot of respect when it came to football, and now we don't. Not even I respect ourselves, you know. And it was sad because we got eliminated in the quarterfinals in this World Cup. In 2014, it was the semifinals. In 2006, it was again the quarterfinals. 2010, I forgot. 2010, it was also the quarterfinals, if I'm not mistaken, against Holland, right? And then same thing, 2006 quarterfinals against France, and then in '98 we were eliminated in the final. So basically, yeah, okay, 2002 we won. 2006 eliminated quarterfinals. 2010 eliminated, quarterfinals. 2014 eliminated, semifinals, and now 2018 eliminated, quarterfinals. That's basically it in a nutshell. But yes, dudes and dudettes, that's it. That's all I wanted to say. Might have been a pretty long video, but I just really love football and I wanted to go in depth, as much as I could without making it too extended, of course. And I really enjoyed researching and doing homework, writing a script and something like before doing this video, and I had to memorize a lot of things. And I've been meaning to put this video out for a while now. I know that the World Cup is dead and gone. People have already moved on and forgotten it, but I still wanted to record and post this video anyway. So I hope you guys like it. And if you want to discuss with me anything regarding the World Cup, anything you agree with and just want to show some love, or you disagree with something I said and want to discuss it, very, very politely, of course, you're free to do so in the comments and tell me who you guys were rooting for, where you guys are from and who you wanted to win. And, if any of you are French, congratulations, and that's it. That has been my analysis of the 2018 FIFA World Cup. I will, of course, record another video just like this in 4 years' time, so stick around for the my analysis of the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar, I believe. And I'm not sure, I wasn't sure where to put this video, in the mixer or what's the damage, because it has both positive and negative aspects in it, so I didn't really know where to place it. But it's okay, I just wanted to make it a standalone video just about the World Cup, exclusive for the World Cup. So yeah, thank you again, guys. I'm really tired, and I have to record another video talking about Cristiano Ronaldo moving to Juventus. That's gonna be fun too. So I'll see you guys in the next one.